Over the past couple of days, myself and the collective of Battlefield YouTubers, big and small, have been extremely critical of the time to kill changes that have been rolled out by DICE, and have also been critical of their reasons for doing so. If you missed my video on Friday, we talked about the reasons why DICE has decided to issue these changes, but for the sake of not sounding like a broken record, I'm not going to repeat all of that here. If you are interested in watching that video, you can click on the end screen title at the end of the video. And I'm actually rather surprised on how some of the big Battlefield YouTubers have stood up against DICE in reaction to this patch, particularly Westy and Jackfrags. And mind you, we have oftentimes very different opinions on things, considering that they definitely have a more casual audience, and I tend to cater to a more competitive audience, seeing that I'm a comp player, even though I do have an audience from all over the skill spectrum, and I love you all the same dearly. But out of all the people condemning DICE for their actions and talking a lot about the inconsistencies with the logic and reasoning of the situation, not many people have spent too much time on how the changes actually feel in-game. Now, I'm not going to go over the changes in detail, that would take a lot of time, but to cover that, I am going to refer to a Reddit post that you can all go and read that gives you a better idea on what the changes actually mean for how the game plays, if looking at data is your sort of thing. For me personally, I can sit down and look at numbers, but none of that matters until you hop into a game and figure out what it all feels like. And well, how do these new TTK changes feel? Well, to me anyways, not good. In case you were wondering, this gameplay footage is with the new time to kill, and hopefully it gives you a good idea as to what this new time to kill looks and feels like. And that's why this video was delayed, because I wanted some more time with the new TTK, and then again, some additional time to go and revisit the old time to kill so I could further solidify how these changes feel to me. And to be honest with you, at first the changes won't feel that strong to you, and you'll probably be thinking, well, what the heck are people complaining about? And to be clear, I would say I fell into that category as well. My anger with the time to kill changes definitely stemmed more from why DICE was changing the time to kill, the principles behind it, instead of the actual changes themselves. But the more and more I began to play with this new time to kill, I began to realize one major thing. I wasn't having all that much fun anymore. A lot of what made the old time to kill so much fun is it felt like your bullets had power, and therefore getting kills on flanks or clearing an objective really made you feel like you had a purpose and that you were actually doing something. You felt rewarded by having better positioning and better aim, and now it really just feels like you're running around hoping that you can kill people when you shoot them because they are much spongier than before. And that's the first gripe I have with this time to kill, is that you don't feel like you're doing all that much in game, and it makes the game come off as very bland and boring. Part of the fun factor and addicting nature of Battlefield 5 was the severe consequences when you made a mistake. Say you went out in the middle of a contested objective, or maybe you lost a gunfight to another player with better positioning than you. It was just as fun taking that death as a learning experience and learning the game, and then being able to counter that, than it oftentimes was being able to pull off a massive flank to save an objective. And now those consequences for making a stupid mistake are extremely diminished because of how many shots it takes to kill now. It gets you out of a lot of bad situations. Before the patch, you felt like you truly had a lot of power in your hands, and now it kind of feels like you are at the mercy of the netcode and hit detection, because now people have a greater chance of being able to react and make it to cover, and the more and more you play with this new time to kill, the more you begin to notice it. It really kind of plays a mind trick on you sometimes, because you aren't sure if you are going to get the kill or not, so you hesitate to do things that were becoming second nature to you, now that everybody has had a decent amount of time with the game. There are definitely moments that you recognize that you probably would have killed that person with the old time to kill, but there are also moments when you recognize that you probably would have died with the old time to kill. Sure, it may be a double-edged sword, but it's one that, in my opinion, impedes a game like Battlefield 5 that has some pretty hardcore elements in every single aspect of the game design, and it's just not fun. It's not like you're going to perform any better or any worse than you did before. As I said, you are definitely going to notice over time that you are going to lose some kills that you would have been able to get beforehand, and vice versa. But even for somebody like me, which I'm trying not to gas myself up here, but I get consistent 60 to 70 kill conquest games, consistent 100 bombs in other more kill heavy game modes. It hasn't really affected my performance, it's just affected how much fun I'm having with the game. On another note, I think this patch is definitely going to be noticed more by players that have been consistently playing the game more than the people that just log on for an hour or two every day, and Over time, what I found in testing the 2 times the kills is that this new time to kill really messes with your muscle memory, just because of how awkward it fits into the rest of the game mechanics. As somebody who plays Battlefield competitively, I can't even begin to tell you how important muscle memory is, especially for all you console players out there, and this time to kill patch really messes with your muscle memory and your mental memory. I cannot even begin to tell you how many times I've been in a 2v1 situation over the past couple days, and I stopped firing at the first guy because I was going off of my memory on how many shots to kill it would take to kill him at the range I was at. And then I got killed by that first player while trying to kill the second guy, and I died because the new time to kill values are screwing with my recollection of how many bullets it takes to kill somebody. And to be honest, it really stinks. I have over 70 hours logged in this game since November 20th, which, depending on how much you play, may be a lot to you, it may be nothing, but it really sucks that I spent 60-something hours of those game time hours learning and retaining time to kill information for all the weapons in the game just to have this massive change that throws a gigantic corkscrew and basically throws those hours I spent learning the game in the trash can. Part of the reason for that is because one of the things that this patch has inadvertently done is basically make all of the weapon balancing fixes that DICE did not a week before this TTK patch null and void. The buffs that the SMGs had just received were pretty much reset by this patch, and now some SMGs are taking up to 9 shots to kill at some ranges, which is absolutely ridiculous. But out of all those weapons in the patch, I think the semi-auto rifles are the ones that you are going to notice got the heaviest incidental nerfs, especially the Gewehr 43. It was taking 4 or 5 shots to kill in situations that I knew would be a 3-shot kill with the old time to kill, and that goes back to what I was saying about there being some situations where you would have gotten those kills if it was the old time to kill, and that kind of leaves you with the feeling of being cheated or robbed. Now, I know that DICE is coming out with core playlists for all game modes sometime this upcoming week, so I don't have to bounce around between both times to kill anymore, but honestly, I don't agree with them doing this. A lot of people, including myself, were extremely happy that DICE decided to eliminate the premium pass because it meant that the community was going to be united, and that one half of the community was not going to be restricted by a paywall. Well, now with these new core playlists, the community is going to be split once again, but it's going to be because of a damage model and not a paywall, and I think that really stinks because say you have a squad of 4, 2 people who like the old time to kill, 2 who like the new time to kill. Somebody's going to have to sacrifice and not have a good time while playing Battlefield 5 because they are playing a time to kill that they don't enjoy. Or the squad is going to go their separate ways and not play together because of the difference. So, in the end, not only is DICE redividing the community again with this patch, but they are also completely destroying the gun balance that they just fixed last week. And I think that as a whole, this time to kill patch is very misleading because this time to kill change is not exactly something that you can see or watch. Maybe you've been able to notice it in the gameplay, but it's definitely something that you can feel. And again, it's just not fun to me. I don't enjoy having to second guess myself in gun battles as to whether I've done enough damage to kill an enemy player. I liked the consistency that the original time to kill offered because, believe it or not, a lot of what makes you good at games like this is your confidence, and with this new time to kill, sometimes I'm not confident in my gunfights because I know that with this extra time it takes to kill, I know that that person can escape and make it behind cover and bipod me, for example, and with this new time to kill, I second guess myself in a lot of 3v1 and 2v1 situations because I know it's going to take a crap ton of bullets to kill people. I guess the too long didn't read version of it is, the new time to kill doesn't feel good with this game, and it's certainly not as fun. Is it playable? Absolutely, but from what I've seen and heard from the community, they aren't loving it either. Thank you all so much for watching this video. If you enjoyed it, make sure that you drop a like and subscribe for more content. I know I left a lot of deaths in the gameplay, even some of my really embarrassing stupid deaths, so that you all could get a better idea of how this game plays with the new patch. I do want to say hello to all the new subscribers. Welcome to the community. Thank you everybody for your support. Make sure you turn on post notifications so you don't miss an upload if you could be so inclined. My name is Nick or Catalyst, and I will see you all another time.